All right, so next we're moving on to shoulder rehab exercises. It is important when you're strengthening the shoulder, as it is such a complex joint that has a lot of movement, that we start in exercises that resist movement. So don't start just getting some bands and doing external rotation, internal rotation. That can cause a lot of irritation. We want to start with exercises that stress that range of motion without actually moving the shoulder. So the first exercise is going to be, I call them banded four ways, but that's just what I like to call them. So lighter band hooked up to something stable, and you're going to grip it in your hand, and then you're going to put it straight down to your side, and then walk forward and hold it there. It's trying to pull my arm back. I'm resisting by keeping my arm down to the side, and then come back. Then we're going to switch 4 ways. We're going to go here. You will not be able to see this, but I'm going to keep it pinned down to my right side with my right hand, and I'm going to step out. And that will keep me stable in this position, not letting my arm go in, down to the side. So the next is, you're going to have it here. This is the third way. You're going to walk straight back. It's trying to pull my arm forward, but I'm holding it in place, and then back in. And the last is, you're going to keep it down to your side with the band across your body, and you're going to walk out. And now it's trying to pull my arm this way, but I'm not letting that happen. So great exercises, very good shoulder rehab, very low likelihood of re-injury or irritation. And then the next exercise I'm going to show you is kind of a 2-for-1, farmer carries and hanging from a pull-up bar. So I'm going to grab a dumbbell real quick. Okay, so rehab exercise number 2 for the shoulder. So one thing people don't think about when they think about the rotator cuff is that it actually stabilizes your shoulder. We always think rotation because that's what it does when the muscle actively contracts, but its other action is it stabilizes the shoulder joint, and that's why when people dislocate their shoulder, they often tear their rotator cuff. So what we need to do is strengthen it by adding axial loading, which eccentrically strengthens those muscles. So if you imagine the rotator cuff attaches to the head of your humerus like this, when they contract, it rotates. But if something's pulling on your arm, then those muscles contract to keep your shoulder blade in, your shoulder bone in place. So farmer carries is going to be the best for most people. If you are pretty well trained, hanging from a pull-up bar is also a great option, but you have to be able to hang from a pull-up bar for more than 10 or 20 seconds. So farmer carries, pick up a dumbbell or a kettlebell. I'm only going to show you one. You can do both sides at the same time. You can do one at a time. So hold it down to your side, and you're literally just going to walk. Don't try to fix your posture. Don't try to lean back. Don't try to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You hold it out to the side, and you just walk. And then you can go, don't go backwards, but you can go across, turn around, go this way, which is great. So, and then the next is literally hanging from a pull-up bar. So what you're going to do is find a good height pull-up bar, and you're going to hang. Now, it's important that you're not just swinging around like a monkey. You want to be stable, right in one place. If you are extremely strong and you really want to increase your shoulder strength, I recommend letting go with one hand and holding like this. You can switch, do the other side, hold, and keep alternating like that. And those are phenomenal exercises, although quite difficult. So do not start those until you have sufficient shoulder strength. Ideally, minimal pain to no pain. Okay, so now we're going to start incorporating movement. These exercises, although they will seem pretty easy, are quite difficult. So I recommend starting with very small weights. I personally would start with 5-pound dumbbells. So you may want to start with 5s, you may want to start with 2s, you may want to start with just your arms. So this is an activation exercise. I call them W's, Y's, and T's. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do them. One with dumbbells and a bench, and then another way with bands. So Julie's going to move in, get a better angle so I can show you guys, and then we'll move on to the bands. So for W's, you're thinking about YMCA here. We're going to be making movements with our arms to make the letters. So you're going to be on your chest, and you're going to have the dumbbells out in front, and you're going to raise them up into a W, and then back down. Raise them up, back down, and then we're gonna go Ys next. So the only thing really important here is that I want your thumbs pointing up when you do this. So you're gonna go thumbs up, and you're going to raise them up in a Y, back down, raise them up, back down, and then the last exercise, T's, you can go straight out to the side here and raise them up, back down, and then there's one additional that I'm gonna give you. I don't know what letter you would call it, but this one's important as well. So you're gonna do the same thing that you did in the front, but down to your sides. You're gonna go thumbs up, and you're going to raise the dumbbells up and back, and then go back down, up and back down. So those will be the first movement exercises. We're gonna switch over to the bands, and I'll show you how to do those there. Okay, so if you have a set of these bands at the gym, or if you buy some off of Amazon, this is another phenomenal way to do this, probably even better than dumbbells, but those are easily accessible. So this is a crossover symmetry, meaning the bands are going to be crossed when you're doing these, and I'm going to go through W, Ys, Ts, and Julia said the other one should be called Is because your arms go down to your side. So first off, we're going to do Ws. So go back until there's some resistance on the bands, and you're going to go into a W. Back down, W, Y, and then T, here. And then the last one for the Is, you're gonna pull them down, straight to your side. You won't be able to put your thumbs back since you're holding handles, but just palms back. So here, and back forward, back that way. Done. And those are probably a little better than dumbbells, but crossover symmetries are quite expensive. Maybe your gym has them. If not, dumbbells are a great alternative. All right, so again, this is going to be a more advanced exercise. Again, like some of the other exercises. This one in particular, please do not do unless you consult with the doctors first. This requires a lot of stability, and you're going to be holding a heavy weight above your head, so the risk, obviously, of dropping a weight we do not want to have. So please consult the doctors before you do this exercise, but I'm going to show you because scapula stability is extremely important for the health of your shoulder, and that's what this exercise is for. So you're going to take a kettlebell. It does need to be a kettlebell in this situation. While you will have some benefits from using a dumbbell, kettlebells are superior in this instance because the weight is going to be behind your wrist, not directly in it, which puts your wrist in a good position. So I'm going to show you on my right arm. Julia's going to probably have to bring the camera in for this one, so it will be moving a little bit. So we'll take the kettlebell, and I'm going to lay on my back. Julia's going to come over and get a good video of this.
Just gonna go.
Okay, so I'm going to show this exercise. Julia's going to get the best angle she can. If we do go over this exercise with you and you want to try it, the doctor can always demonstrate, but we'll start. So you're going to take the kettlebell in one hand. I'm going to do my right hand. So you want to have a good neutral grip. You should not hold kettlebells like this. This is very bad for your wrist. I call it a pistol grip. You always should have your hand leaned at least straight, if not a little bit of flexion. So we're going to lay back, and I'm going to bend my right leg here, push this kettlebell straight over my head. My left arm is going to go over here, and I'm going to roll onto my side here. And I'm going to hold the kettlebell directly above me. So my arm is just here so my head can have somewhere to rest. Otherwise it'd be on the ground and it would hurt. So here, and just hold. As you can tell, even with an extremely light kettlebell, you can see it swaying. So you just hold it just like this for 30 seconds or so, obviously building up weight, building up intensity, and then you're going to roll back on your side and bring the kettlebell straight down. Please, when you're doing this, if you start shaking badly and feel out of control, please do not drop this on yourself. You can go forward, drop it. There's really no good way to drop it. The best thing you can do is start to roll over and then it'll fall back. But hopefully that you don't do that because that means you're going too heavy.